Hello everyone and welcome to Isms by Josie. This past week I've been pretty busy, but I'm super ultra excited to share with you what I've been working on. So for the month of November, I have a handful of family and friends that have birthdays, and I made a couple of gifts for them and I wanted to share it with you. So first things first, back in 2004 maybe, in college, I really wanted to create something functional and flashy maybe, and I came up with this pocket scarf. One of the major problems with women clothing, I feel, the pockets are just not there or just not big enough to hold everything I'd like to hold, and I do not like to hold a purse. So I came up with these scarves that have pockets in it, and every now and then I'll make some as a gift for friends, and I pretty much do them as a part-time hobby, so I'm just stockpiling up on these scarves. This time, however, I decided to make something that I've been dying to make for several years now, and I just never wanted to attempt it. But this time I did. So I'd like to share with you this scarf that I made for my BFF who has a birthday this month. And with the cold season arriving, it's so perfect for this time of year. So this is my scarf. I decided to make it a little bit more national, and I decided to make these pockets in the form of their national flag. Pretty. So this is how it is when you open it and close it. And it was pretty fun to make because I'm Filipino, and I wanted to make a scarf for me with the Filipino flag, which I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm working on it now for myself, but for her birthday, I thought it would be cool and funny to make her a Puerto Rican pocket scarf flag made by JBM. So this is that, and it's awesome because there's pockets everywhere. This is the pocket protector kind of pocket where you can just slip some pencils in, some things that you were quick to grab. I actually have a scarf that I made, and I put my mask in there so I can just easily whip it out when I get out of the car or something. And then I have these flat pockets that you can put, like, you know, money, your IDs, you know, anything else, your phone. I'd stick my phone in it right now, but it's actually recording me right now. But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. This is the HTC One Max. This was my favorite phone before it fell in the toilet. And this was years ago, and it's been cleaned and attempted to dry, and it's not kicking over anymore, and it's like barely new. Like I think I dropped this maybe 3 months after getting it. It was so sad, and it's so big. But using that, I can easily just stick this sucker in there and close it up. Good to go. Check the specs on Google to see how big that is, but it's a pretty big pocket. At any rate, put that down. So I'm super excited to send this to her. I think she's gonna love it. I think she's gonna think it's the funniest thing, just because, you know, we're not all about wearing the flag like this, all flashy, but we got them holidays, and I'm totally gonna rock mine when my holidays roll around because, you know, it's always good to be proud of where you come from. So that's that. And then the other exciting thing I wanted to share with you guys is the cutesy Tootsie child scarf. So I normally make adult scarves, which you would think would take longer to make, which it does. But there's a child that's having a birthday this month too, and I went with some November birthstone colors, blue topaz, got some citrine up in here to give some bling bling while she's rocking out and keeping warm. So again, this has small pockets here and flappy pockets here. And pretty much the same thing. Oh, I'll show you that inside you can fit at least an ID case. Of course, hopefully anybody that I give these to will be aware that scarves can choke you and that you should probably not leave valuables and forget about them and end up losing it or washing it, because I've done that before and it sucks. Well, it wasn't valuables, it was more like chapstick. But anyway, so this is what I wanted to share with y'all. It's so pretty. I normally do these, like, again, adult size, random colors, just things that come to mind. I have got like a closet filled with yarn, so it's a live long day with just knitting and crocheting. It's something I like to do for fun, and if you would like to see more photos of the designs that I've made, I'll leave a link in the description below. And on top of that, I do have an Etsy shop, IsmsByJBM, if you would also like to purchase one of these yourselves. So now on to the main event. It is the month of November, and I'm taking my family and friends' birthdays as inspiration, and I'm doing the November birthstone designs using Citrine and Topaz. So I hope that you will enjoy these nail designs that I'm gonna do today, and let's get it on. I started off by doing my infill and putting down a layer of foundation gel. I'm taking Gummy Jelly by Couture and topping this with Shiny, again by Couture. Be taking a glob of this and starting on my ring finger. Again, I don't necessarily think of a design, I just have an idea in mind. So I started laying down this gummy jelly and decided to change this vertical into a horizontal design. So I'm just gonna swipe this goop up a little bit and spread some on the sides. And that's the best thing about this gummy jelly. You can work as you go. If you change your mind, you could just wipe it off. Now I'm putting on a very thin layer of the Shiny to prevent it from running into the cuticles. You don't need a lot of the Shiny on top of this gummy jelly to make the rhinestones that I'll be applying stick to the nail. And I'm just smoothing this down a little bit, but not so much that I'm wiping away the gummy jelly. Now I'm going to be placing my first stone, which is the Citrine rhinestone. There were many colors of Citrine and Topaz, and I decided to stick with these two color palettes. Blue has a complementary color of orange, so this variation is supposed to complement each other very well. And I'm just going to be taking these blue topaz looking rhinestones and creating a frame around the citrine colored one. I think my rhinestone designs mainly come off of just the idea of jewelry, so mostly they may kind of replicate rings, stone settings in rings. So that's typically where I get my inspiration from, which is kind of funny because I'm not so much into jewelry. My engagement and wedding ring are probably the only pieces that I wear, aside from obviously my nails. I'm just taking smaller pieces of the topaz to flank each side and line the tip line, the smile line. Now I'm going to be working on my thumbnail, and I'm going to do the same design, just using different stones. I'll be leaving a description with the link down below for the, I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's like a jewelry stone setting looking thing. But those are pretty good because you can take them off and they'll still keep, so that you can use it in another design. So I've used these stones, at least once. So I decided to go with this oval looking shape here, and it looks gorgeous. Center that. And I'm just going to make a ring with the citrine rhinestones. That contrast, like I said, it just complements each other very well. So, I mean, it's not even done and it's looking so great. And, as I'm making these designs, like, I never really know exactly what I'm going to lay down. And as I'm doing this, I can see that this size rhinestone is cute, but I think it might be a little too small. So now I'm just going to be taking metal pincher here, tweezer, and I'm just going to move these stones over to the smile line. And like I said, I mean, this gummy jelly is very forgiving as long as you put the gummy jelly where you need it. You could always move your design around for as long as you have the patience to play around with it. So again, I'm just taking these smaller rhinestones and just moving them off to the sides, because I'll be using a larger size rhinestone to frame the blue topaz and clear crystal setting here. And if your gummy to shiny ratio isn't perfect, especially when it comes to the heavier jewels, I mean, I'll be framing this with smaller pieces that should hold it together, or you'll end up finding that you need to work quickly so that it doesn't move around so much before you cure your nail. But just by experience, I'm going to be placing these larger citrine rhinestones, and that centerpiece should stay put. The colors on this is just like popping. I just can't already. It looks so good. When placing these down as these little guys are moving around, I mean, you don't focus too much on each stone until you have all your rhinestones laid down, because they're just going to keep moving. You know, even if you have your ratios good enough, like it's still going to move around a bit with just bumping and stuff. So now I'm just taking the time to just tighten it all up, now that I've laid all the stones down. And, you know, doing this, you'll realize that you have room for another stone, as I'm doing here. Plus, I believe the other side I had put 4 down. So now at least it's even. And it may also be helpful to check different perspectives. So I've been seeing, since it's my own thumbnail, I've been looking at it from my side down. But, you know, once you give your nail a little upside down twist, you can possibly see that it's not as symmetrical as you thought it would be, or if it's off or whatever. So now I'm just taking the gummy jelly and I am placing it all over my pinky nail, as I typically, as I've been doing with my past designs, just like to have that one nail that's just disco ball like, filled with different size crystals. Being extra careful this time to put a thin layer of the shiny, as it's all over the entire nail. It could definitely run into the cuticle, which will make it harder to file off after all the stones have been placed down. You may end up filing sides of the stones and it'll lose its facets. So again, not really having a plan, but I just typically do my largest stone to smallest stone. But I did decide to do like a striped nail, since some months have 2 birthstones, which makes it a little complicated for me because I'd prefer to just have the one, but since there's 2 different kinds for November, I'm just going to alternate Citrine with Topaz and see what happens. I am loving the blue topaz, how it looks. It's not a normal color that I would, or it's not a color that I would typically use for me. But as I'm forcing myself to do birthstones or do different designs, I'm finding that these colors that I normally wouldn't use are inspiring me to use them again in the future. I mean, I'm kind of like a plain Jane. I mean, not really, but I mean, as far as color goes, I'll probably stick with blacks and maybe cooler dark colors. meaning like, you know, blues, or not those kind of, not the topaz kind of blue, like a dark navy, I guess darker colors. But I've definitely been using a lot of colors lately that I normally wouldn't be using. The hard part of this is just finding the filler stones, finding the right shape. I got a bunch of multicolored, a multicolored packet of rhinestones, and it has different sizes. So for me to separate each color to get what I want, and then get the sizes that I need, I know that there's like a stone fit for a spot. It's just finding it that's, you know, tedious. So that's why prior to filming, I'll, like you saw in the beginning, I'll try to separate them all out beforehand, just so that I'm obviously not searching for it while filming. But you can imagine that that takes a decent amount of time to separate all of that. I'll leave a link down below for the rhinestones. You know, it is cheaper just to get it in bulk and get it in different colors, as opposed to just picking out a certain color. So I'm glad that I got this mixed rhinestone packet, just because, you know, now I can, there's just so many colors. There isn't a color that's not there that, that I would need, I think. I mean, come the day now that I'll probably need a color and I don't have it. But I just make it work. Kind of liking the striped look. For some reason, for me, it's looking like a yellow and blue watermelon. It's actually making me want to get like brown. I don't know if I have brown in my packet, but I would probably do like a football design and make my pinky nail a football, because that's what it's now looking like to me. It's crazy. But I can see it being a football. It's like it wants to be a football. So again, like, I think that size, yeah, that size was too big. So I'm gonna get a smaller one. It's so crazy just watching me do this, and there's that pile of small rhinestones right there on the top. Knowing that it took me maybe 45 minutes to separate the colors and the sizes. Things that you don't see on video. These suckers are small. I mean, I'm not blind, but I could have been if I kept going with the whole packet. I think I just stopped after a while because I was like, okay, I think I have enough. And I think I got 2 packets. But again, I'll leave a link below, and then you'll see if you check it out. It's like these tiny sleeves of these stones, and it comes like in 5 sleeves, 5 different sizes.
2 packs, and somewhere down the line I probably mixed them all up. So I'm just making sure that I'm putting up the stones tight together, making sure there aren't any gaps. Check twice, cure once. Now I'm putting just a couple of dollops on my middle finger. I have this infinity design that I wanted to do, and I'm taking again the topaz, and I'll be taking the citrine, and I'm doing a kind of yin yang placement. But then I'm going to be framing it with this infinity design. I'm taking my Shany striping nail polish. I'll leave a link in the description below. And I'm going to be drawing half of this infinity symbol. And I've come to find while doing this video, I haven't done brushwork since high school. In fact, I've probably haven't done any type of artwork by hand since high school or college, actually. And I'm fairly good at it. I mean, I'm not bragging or anything, but I can draw. But like, I guess drawing on my nail is not good. And with this striper, definitely not good. It was so hard. Like, why can't I just draw a fluid line without having to mess it up or having to do little sections of it? And here I'm taking my brush to just clean up the mess that I'm making. Since it's not clean and crisp. Okay, so now I am putting some lines on my thumbnail, keeping it a little simple, but I'm tying in this purple into the design because one of my good friends, I think, works very well with purple, so I incorporated it. Call this a tribute design to my BFF. Shout out. And I'll be doing the same thing on my ring finger. I like this. It looks like a laced ballet shoe or something. It's very simple, and it has like a metallic hue to it. So with all the light reflecting off of the stones, the metal metallic looking purple definitely looks cool along with it. So on my pointer finger, I'm just going to be making these feathered, I don't know, arches. Like one of those green plants, like a palm tree or something. I'm just making those lines pop out a little bit more by laying down like 3 coats, I think this is. This striper comes off a little translucent anyway, so I don't like it. It definitely looks a lot different on camera than it does in person. And I definitely just wanted to be sure that everything was filled in and opaque. Now I'm going to be taking my gummy jelly and revisiting my middle finger to complete the infinity symbol using some clear crystals or rhinestones. They're not crystals. This design, unintentional, it's just my middle finger, I feel like, is the longest nail, even though they're probably all the same size. But I guess the width to length ratio would be ideal for this design, but it just seems like how ironic it is on your middle finger. It's like saying November birthdays forever. Because it's an infinity symbol. Yeah, I dorked out. Whatever. Not like you're flipping off every other birthday month, because we all know July's the best. I'm just adjusting the rhinestones to kind of get that arch in there. Tightening up the line. Adding another rhinestone. Getting this curvature perfect. I mean, I was thinking of a word that I didn't want to use perfect. Oh, it looks so cool. It just transitions from the purple to the clear rhinestones and then back to the purple. Inspiration overload. So now I'm taking some more gummy jelly and I'm going to be working on my index finger, and I wanted to make it look like some exotic flower that I'm creating here. Nothing realistic. Putting a thin layer of Shiny. I love this stuff. That'll be the day when I run low on it. I mean, obviously I'll get more, but I could use Gummy jelly and Shiny for anything, I feel like. I'll always figure out a way to bedazzle my nails. I'm just taking the Shiny and I'm putting it on my ring and thumb finger just to seal in the purple stripes we made, since that is regular nail polish and can't be cured. Now I'm back onto my index finger, and I'm just laying down these Citrine Rhinestones to make it look like the center of this would be whole flower if I didn't have it on my nail. Kind of like what a sunflower looks like. And then I'll be taking just a few pieces of the topaz and putting some dots alongside these purple leaves. No rhyme and reason, just wanting to add the blue on there. And this was partially off frame because I suck. Apologies. Now I'm going to be taking my Nourish cuticle oil by Gelish and applying that to each finger and rubbing that in. The colder weather is definitely ruining my hands, so I love this part of this whole process. And this is the end result. My Citrine Topaz November Birthstone design. Tied it in with the purple striping and the clear rhinestones. It's just so beautiful. I mean, this one here just looks so elegant with the thumbnail. It looks kind of like royalty. And this infinity symbol. November forever. And this little sucker on the ring finger looks like a nice dainty flower. And of course, gotta love my disco ball pinky. This is great. I mean, I love it. I still love July, but this design definitely is one of my favorites so far. Well, there you have it. I hope you like the design that I did today. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos. And this is Isms by Josie. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.